Hey cats, it's Ed Midsole Bud here. 2023 isn't over, people. There's still time for some new running shoes to sneak out of Santa's grotto. Will they get into the good books, or will they firmly be on the naughty list? Time for another running shoe yay or nay, I reckon. Today we've got the NIKE Pegasus Turbo 4 update, a new one from the FUELCELL series, with the SC Pacer 2. We've got the ADIDAS SUPERNOVA RISE, and we take a look at the new PUMA FAST-R NITRO ELITE 2. What's not to like there? There's something under the tree for everyone. Let's get to it. Goodwill to all, it's Ed Bud Solski here. A yay or nay, this is a series where I examine some forthcoming or soon to be released running shoes and let you know if I'm going to be picking up a pair for review or not. It's not whether I think that the shoe's great or it's bad. I think another shoe tuber might do some of these more justice than I. It might simply be that I've got to try the shoes, just like you've got to search for that last After 8 dinner mint in the box, only you find a empty envelope. Who put it there? It was Beast. First up today is the NIKE Pegasus Turbo 4. Yes, that's what I think this is called. Finally, the Pegasus Turbo season update after the V1 and V2 and then that terrible Next Nature version that really wasn't a Pegasus Turbo. At least the upper design looks a little bit more like the original this time, which was a superb, roomy, yet nice and light attempt. It was fitting, but still had enough room there for some daily training, not crushing your feet, like some sort of foot vice. It does mention Flyknit, though that can mean just about anything judging by Nike's recent shoes over the past few years. You get Flyknit written on it, but they're all kind of different. Much speculation on this one. Will it return to the dual layer midsole that we've seen before? There does seem to be like a darker strip or something. Certainly a slight visible difference there, though not quite so much towards the toe end of the shoe. Though I suspect the darker colour might just be some paint or something. Thus, I reckon this is a caged version of Zoom X. What that might entail, I don't know. I just hope it's not the diabolical SR02 foam and the crushed up Zoom X as we had before on the Pegasus Turbo Next Nature. It was just really inconsistent and not really representative of the Pegasus Turbo versions we've had before. The other thing that worries me about this one is the huge section of exposed midsole in the outsole area. Smack bang in the middle there, we got loads of foam here, which will take the brunt of the daily activities. Can't really see that being a winning idea, and especially for traction as well, it's not going to be that great. It's style over substance as well, with that stripe going through the middle of the heel and forefoot areas. At least the profile looks a bit more like the Pegasus Turbo V1 and 2. So to be honest, I'm glad to see that there's going to be a new one, but I'm a little bit apprehensive about it as well. I think I need some more details really on this one before I say it's a firm yay. The last one was such a letdown, you know, fool me once, shame on you, etc. So it's a nay for the time being on the Pegasus Turbo 4. Shoe 2. It does appear that New Balance have realigned the FUELCELL models to be more representative of some of the other running shoe brands. The SC Trainer 3, I think that's going to be like a max cushion training model, perhaps similar to the Prime X or the Invincible Run. The SC Pacer 2, though, this time round seems to be a little bit closer towards the Takumi Sen, which is a real fan favourite, especially judging by the viewer poll recently. I wonder if the new version of the Pacer could be more usable this time round. I found the V1 was just an interesting shoe, but with really poor lockdown. It kind of bottlenecked the fun a little bit that you could get out of the midsole, which was actually quite wafer thin when you consider some of the other models around the same price range. FUELCELL is just perhaps too soft for some applications, though weirdly the SC Trainer V1 felt a little bit of a weird clunky mess of ideas that again suffered from that very poor lockdown. Once again, we have the Swiss cheese-like upper there. It certainly is going to be a breathable shoe. A full allotment of eyelets, though, this time to help with the lockdown across the foot. And a very angular midsole that juts out of the back of the shoe in a similar way to some of Nike's models did over recent years. It's a very different approach, certainly, than we saw in the Pacer V1. Interesting enough, though, it makes me feel yet again that New Balance are like placing a lot of their design ethos into shoes that were kind of interesting a couple of years back. There's certainly like some Nova Blast vibes here, isn't there? I think Nike in this respect are still the ones sort of blazing the trail, and a lot of people follow them, sometimes a bit blindly. A midsole stack increase then, which brings this roughly in line with the Takumi Sen at 33mm. So I think that's a slightly higher drop than the Sen. Is that like 32 or something? I'm keen to try this one out though and give FUELCELL another go. Haven't reviewed a New Balance shoe in some time. So I'm going to say it's a yay on the FUELCELL SC PACER V2. I do think we've got an 8mm drop there, which is probably about the same as we had in the last shoe. If you're enjoying today's video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button and giving this video a thumbs up like. Dankeschön. Okay, next up a shoe from Puma, the FAST-R NITRO ELITE 2. Now I first saw this shoe back in April of this year. I haven't been able to talk about it too much, a bit under embargo and all of that. We've confirmed a full Nitro Elite midsole this time round though. It's probably going to make for a slightly more cushioned and forgiving ride, complete with the carbon power plate too. That runs the length of the shoe and a little bit more, in fact, out the front. There's that interesting ridge that protrudes from the front of the toe box, which Puma suggests increases the surface contact and acts a bit like a lever to propel you forward. It's a bit like the old Bachmann-Turner overdrive. The exposed power plate setup in the V1 was very exciting and quite polarizing, I suppose. It was a very aggressive shoe for me. I felt that one was perhaps more of a 10k to half marathon shoe, whereas perhaps the V2 is going to be more the Puma marathon shoe. Something to take on the Alpha Fly, perhaps. I'm glad to see we've still got Puma grip on the bottom here in a slightly new configuration. It's quite the spread, with a little more exposed plate than before. This Ekiden version looks quite the part. It's almost like a biological vibe going on here. Can you see that, guys? We got the earthy greens, the spiky vibes in the rear area of the shoe. Quite a reptilian look almost. They got spines there in the lower heel. I can see this one appealing to the lizard people out there. This one is a 14mm stack, so in my size going to be about 44-45mm. I guess around 32mm up front for that 8mm drop that everybody seems to love. Don't know the weight on this one yet, though we have more Elite foam here, so that's a little bit lighter. But then again, we've got the extended carbon plate as well, so maybe that will sort of offset the weight somewhat. Always keen to try out a Puma shoe, certainly a striking model like this one, though I have to say this early colourway perhaps isn't entirely my cup of tea. It's quite a out there one for a launch model. I think it's going to be a yay though on the Puma FAST-R NITRO ELITE version 2. I think the white and orange version though is a little bit more up my street this time round. Okay, last shoe up today is one the viewers have been on to me about. It's the SUPERNOVA RISE from ADIDAS. I've received countless emails, messages, Instagram messages and stuff to tell me to go and try this shoe. And when the viewers ask, I always go and take a second look. This one is out now on the ADIDAS website at the time of making this video in December 2023, though I don't think it launches here in the UK elsewhere until the 12th of December 2023. It's not hard though to get excited about a PIBA-based ADIDAS shoe because we haven't had one yet. This one's got more stack than I thought. It says 36mm for the sample size with 26mm in the forefoot. So for me, in a UK 11, that's going to be closer to 40mm. You can always add on about 4mm to any sort of sample size stack to get it up to my UK 11. Slightly more aggressive drop though, a 10mm drop here. I reckon this one's going to be a little bit closer to something like the Saucony Triumph 21. And that is a shoe that people really, really like, judging by that viewer poll. The weight is a slight alarm bell here at 291 grams in the sample size, but 130 quid here in the UK for a PIBA-based shoe. I think Adidas have got the price point just right there. A little bit cheaper than the Boston 12 that people love as well. I think this could be the shoe to give people a daily option so they don't have to buy that appalling Adi Zero SL. So it's a yay on the SUPERNOVA RISE. I have in fact picked up a pair already. It is winging its way to me through the wind and rain. If the viewers ask me to buy a shoe, you know, how can I deny them the enjoyment of watching me smell it and measure it and all that type of stuff? Okay, that's all 4 shoes for today in the yay or nay. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Hello there. Quick musical interlude for you. Came on randomly earlier today, If I Can Dream by Elvis Presley. One of my absolute favourites, this one. Love the message. really brings it home. Yeah, even now you can listen to this song, and the way Elvis sings it, well, there's nothing quite like it. I think that's what set him apart from a lot of other artists at the time. You had people creating songs and then sort of matching them up with an artist, but the way Elvis sings songs, it's like he truly means it. The sincerity is there, and it sounds like he's singing to save his life. That is the thing that sets him apart on this one from practically every other singer. The message is there, and I think it means possibly even more than it did when he first recorded this one. Certainly around this time of year as well. Some of the stuff that I see on a daily basis, it makes you very thankful, for what you have, but there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, and I just hope that, one day everybody can just live in peace, in harmony, where you just don't need all that other stuff. It just is irrelevant. It's stopping people from living their lives and enjoying being on this planet. If I Can Dream by Elvis Presley. Thanks for tuning in, people. It's always appreciated. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up like. Really helps out. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you